Hi, I'm Brendan Zwombag.
And I'm Heather Mighton, and this is Spoke TV,
your source for local and campus news. With peanut allergies becoming common worldwide, there are more alternatives for those who suffer from them. Caitlin McKenzie-Keys tells us about a study that is trying to build up an immunity to peanuts.
Based on a history of allergic reaction, just over 1% of Canadian children are allergic to peanuts. This is an issue that researchers in the UK have been addressing. A study was recently conducted where 96 children, all different ages with varying degrees of peanut allergy severity, were treated using immunotherapy.
Immunotherapy is a method of treating food allergies where a medical professional will give the patient very small quantities of the allergen. For example, peanuts. This will be done over a period of time on a regular basis to see if the patient will develop a tolerance.
The study only focused on monitoring children with the allergy. Susan Elliott, the Dean of Applied Health Sciences at the University of Waterloo, explains why.
A lot of little kids will have an allergic reaction to milk or eggs, and they'll outgrow that as they get older. Peanut allergy, tree nut allergy, they'll take that right into adulthood. So the focus has primarily been on kids to try and get them at a young age so that they can hopefully get rid of it.
This specific allergy is the most common cause of severe and life-threatening allergic reactions related to food. This can make usually easy day-to-day activities a challenge for some. Spoke TV's own Rebecca Turner talks about her experiences with this.
It's something that affects you 24/7, so it's when, if someone is beside you on the bus and they're eating something that you're allergic to, or in class or in a work type setting. So it's something you always need to be thinking about.
After 6 months of treatment, the study showed that 80% of patients were able to build up a small immunity to a handful of peanuts. Although currently this is not a cure, only a treatment.
About 50% of those kids, my understanding of the literature is, start reacting again after a period of time, 1 or 2 years after the study's done. So it might just be a short-term cure, we just don't know.
For Spoke TV, I'm Caitlin McKenzie-Keys.
When Ontario decided to increase the number of red light cameras in the region, they expected to make intersections safer.
Red light cameras are supposed to prevent accidents, but a recent study that took place in Kitchener seems to argue otherwise. The findings included that traffic safety improves only if red light cameras and police presence are occurring at the same time. Although red light cameras can decrease some collisions, it can also increase others, such as rear ends. Ontario chose to expand red light cameras, despite a previous study showing an increase in collisions and injuries.
Sports superstars Sidney Crosby and LeBron James promoting Gatorade and Powerade, sports drinks have become a $450 million market in Canada. But are they beneficial? Have you worked out hard enough to require a sports drink? A recent investigation from CBC's Marketplace says that the sugary drinks may actually be working against your workout. With promises of replenishing electrolytes lost through sweat, sports drinks have a claim to help athletes recover quicker. But the study says that only about 1% of Canadians actually work out long enough or at a high enough intensity to need the extra electrolytes. Without intense training for 2 hours, you are likely just consuming extra calories.
It's been a good winter for Canada's favorite pastime. John Morris tells us how you can find a place to lace up your skates across the world.
One of the fiercer winters in recent memory was great for backyard rink builders. This has led to an increase in amount of data collected for a study by Wilfrid Laurier professor Dr. Robert McClellan. His program Rink Watch tracks backyard rinks from around the world.
Rink Watch is a citizen science project that we launched here at Laurier. It's aimed at people who have a rink in their backyard or in their neighborhood park. We ask them to come to our website and pin its location on our interactive map, and then come back on a regular basis and report the skating conditions on the rink.
Several multi-day cold fronts led to very hard ice, making builders and skaters happy.
It's been great. Yeah, these guys over here, I don't know their names, but they've been awesome. Keeping up with it, keeping it all flooded.
You got a lot of people. We had like 20 people here the one Sunday. It was right nice.
Yeah.
The program now has 2 rinks located in Norway and 1 in Finland. McClement was surprised about the amount of American content in his research.
With a colder winter than expected, backyard rinks are popping up all over America and even as south as Virginia.
I'd say about 20 to 25% of our users are in the United States, which was a pleasant surprise actually. We sort of envisaged this as a Canadian project, but we suddenly realized that there's a lot of enthusiastic rink builders.
For Spoke TV, I'm John Morris.
Conestoga College is now offering 3 programs at Laurier Brantford. Business and Health Office Management, Human Resources Management, and Medical Office Practice students are having a difficult time identifying themselves. Adam Rochon has this story.
What makes a school? Is it the building? Is it the school spirit? According to the Brantford campus, it is not the students. The 60 Conestoga students currently studying in Brantford are up in arms about the lack of recognition they receive at the campus they share with Laurier.
On top of the growing list of complaints from Brantford Conestoga students is there's just a lack of social activity. There's no central service hub. And of course, the students just don't feel as though the college is representing them fairly.
First-year student Judy Parker, who is studying health office administration, is shocked at the divide between the two student bodies.
And nobody here knows we're here, so you say you're from Conestoga, they go, Conestoga, there's a Conestoga here, really? You don't go to Laurier? You know, finally we're going to get some hoodies that we can wear, right? But it's just that, yeah, it's just like you feel like you're not involved at all.
While Conestoga makes use of the library resources, counseling, and disability services with Laurier, offering an equal experience to all students will take some time, as Vice President of Student Affairs Mike Dinning explains.
I think the challenge now is trying to move into other areas like student life and things like that to engage students and see to what extent are they Conestoga students, to what extent are they Laurier Brantford Conestoga students.
Partnership opportunities and future joint programs between Conestoga and Laurier might eventually unite both student bodies. For Spoke TV, I'm Adam Rochon.
Following a recent incident of a University of Waterloo student not being able to get on a Greyhound bus, Brittany Mifsud takes a look at accessibility services at the Conestoga College campus.
Since 2005, the Ontario government's goal has been to improve accessibility for goods, services, facilities, accommodations, employment, and buildings in Ontario for people with disabilities. Despite the passing of the Access for Ontarians with Disabilities Act, a Waterloo University student had a horrific experience trying to return home from visiting Toronto. Chantal Hunink was left in the cold for 4 hours and had to be rescued by firefighters.
Unlike GRT buses, not all Greyhounds are wheelchair accessible, but with 48 hours notice, they're supposed to provide one that is. That was more than the case for Hunink, who booked her trip a week in advance.
Anthony Cecilia has cerebral palsy, and Grand River Transit is his main source of transportation. He explains the problems he has faced while using the bus.
There's some bus drivers that don't know how to react when they see me come on, but they have the stationary signs that says sit here, but you don't know how to react when I come on the bus. Like, if you don't know how to react when I come on the bus, why do you have the signs?
Anne Moore is the manager of student access at Conestoga College. She explains that although there has been progress, Ontario's buildings are still not very accessible.
There's a baseline of accessibility that most human beings should be able to expect in Ontario, and I'm afraid to say that it's not completely in place right now. You will go to buildings where there's still steps to get into the building.
For Spoke TV, I'm Brittany Mifsud.
How much would you pay for the health of your pet? Molly Mercier takes a look at the increasing costs of vet bills and what you can do to lower these expenses.
Having a cute, cuddly forever friend is definitely not priceless.
In Canada, there's an estimated 1 dog in every other home, leaving the count at 14 million across the country.
Dr. Natalie Reed explains the importance of taking your pet to see a professional on a yearly basis.
It depends on their age and overall health status. So for your average kind of young to adult, otherwise healthy animal, then we recommend once a year for sure for a good wellness checkup. And that's more in the sense of trying to pick up anything that might be brewing rather than waiting until they're sick and have a reason to come in.
Studies show that the leading cost of vet bills are vaccinations, which can sometimes put one visit alone up to $600. Meet Sloan and Alexis. They have been together since August of 2013. Alexis adopted her now 8-month-old kitten from an animal shelter, which provided a little bit of help with her medical costs.
I had to pay like a flat rate, and then they covered her pet insurance for 6 months, so I got her neutered and all her shots
for, I think it was $220.
Around the same time in August, Alexis's roommate, Abby McLeod, adopted a kitten as well, without the same benefits that she was given. Some people say pets are like children. When considering taking on the responsibilities of pet, also consider their costs after their purchase.
For Spoke TV, I'm Molly Mercier.
Boxing in Canada doesn't always get the recognition it deserves. Spoke TV's Adam Rochon speaks with a local boxer about his quick rise up the North American boxing ranks and his hope to become a world champion.
Unlike many sports, you don't play boxing, you box. Meet the current North American Boxing Association and North American Boxing Federation Cruiserweight champion. Dangerous Denton Daly is a 31-year-old Brampton native and a multiple barbershop owner who is undefeated in his 11 professional boxing bouts. He is currently preparing for his next fight on February 15th against experienced veteran Andres Taylor at the Hershey Center in Mississauga.
It's going to be a good fight. Andres Taylor, good fighter, former Olympian, has a couple American titles himself. He's definitely come in a fight. He's fought a lot of top competition, guys that are more credible than the guys that I've fought. So it's going to be a really, really good fight. He's definitely coming to win. He's a big talker. He'll probably get everybody really excited. I stay silent and do my thing in the ring.
Professional boxing in Canada is underfunded, and as Daly's popularity rises, so does the quality of resources his competition becomes exposed to.
I don't put it at the forefront and live off of that excuse. I'm a two-time North American champion. I have 2 titles. To have these titles and be American, so to say, career would be propelled a lot faster, a lot further.
Daly is ranked within the top 10 cruiserweights in the world by the World Boxing Association and the World Boxing Council. And if that wasn't enough, his rankings are expected to improve. 2-time world title challenger Sid Vanderpool is Daly's head coach and has witnessed the progression of his prized student.
When we fought Jason Douglas, and Jason Douglas has 3 times the experience as an amateur and as a pro that Denton had, and to watch Denton basically just walk right through him when a lot of people thought that Denton was going to lose that fight, I knew that he had maybe North American caliber within him. And then, like I said, when he fought Richard Hall, who was a seasoned veteran, fought Roy Jones, and that caliber, that's when I knew after that fight that he had the goods to go all the way.
Vanderpool is using his past experiences to prepare Denton for the next level of international rivalry.
Next steps are February 15th to fight Andres Taylor to defend one of his North American titles, to win that and win it impressively. Andres Taylor's a guy that's only been stopped once out of, I think, 27 or 28 pro fights. So we want to win that fight, win it impressively, so that we know as a team that we're ready to move on to the next level, because he'll move into, potentially the top 5 in the world. So all along the way, I've been saying to Denton, we're not preparing for this fight as much as I'm preparing you for world title, because we're going to get there in a hurry and we won't have a chance to go back and relearn things.
As the competition becomes more formidable, Daly is adapting by focusing his training and improving all potential weaknesses. For his last few fights, he has recruited strength coach Craig Bongelli, who in only a few months has boosted Denton's strength and power.
Denton's physical potential, I would say, is almost unlimited. Apart from being extremely hardworking, Denton's got a massive amount to work with, just being a natural athlete. When you combine those two things, when you combine a huge amount of potential with a huge amount of work ethic, you can get quite a lot out of that.
Even Denton is surprised by the results with Bongelli.
When I met Craig and he did an assessment on me, he realized I have a lot of potential because I have a lot of room to grow. So never in my wildest dreams did I think that I would improve like this.
For Spoke TV, I'm Adam Rochon.
A new exhibit created in Montreal is causing a stir in Kitchener-Waterloo. The exhibit touches on subjects like body image, STDs, and the brain's role in sex. Sarah Schilling takes us inside the Science of Sexuality display at the museum.
The museum downtown Kitchener is encouraging visitors to have the talk with their latest exhibit, The Science of Sexuality. This award-winning exhibit was helped develop by sexologists, doctors, scientists, parents, teaching facilitators, and students of all ages. Although the exhibit was created for ages 13 plus, David Marskell, the CEO of the museum, says why he thinks this exhibit is important for everyone.
It's just such an important conversation to teach young people about sex, so they're not learning about it on the internet. And it's a way for a smart education on sex and to understand the ramifications of your actions, especially for young people who are just becoming sexually active.
With the subject of sexuality something that could be considered taboo, the Waterloo Catholic District School Board will not be allowing their schools to visit this particular exhibit. They issued Spoke TV with this statement provided by the Director of Education, Larry Clifford. The WCDSB recognizes that parents and guardians are the primary educators of their children and that parents and guardians entrust their children to the Catholic education system to ensure they received a distinctly Catholic curriculum in a discernibly Catholic learning environment. Although this candid yet respectful exhibit may not be for everyone, recent visitors to the museum, Jen and Kathleen Kinsey, say why they think it's an important topic.
I think it's really good to teach people about sex and sexuality and stuff, and I think that's really important.
Yeah, I think it's important that they touched on the sexuality part because a lot of people don't feel comfortable with that, but if they're going to a place like this and learning it, then they're going to feel way more comfortable in their life.
The exhibit will also be holding discussions throughout its run. The Science of Sexuality will be at the museum until April 27th. For Spoke TV, I'm Sarah Schilling.
Looking for Valentine's Day ideas? It can be as simple as finding a movie. Rebecca Turner tells us about one that you may not be thinking of.
Valentine's Day is fast approaching, and that makes it the perfect time to watch a good romantic movie.
One of my favorite Valentine's Day movie is The Notebook. I think it's like a classic. It's true love at its finest.
The Notebook, because it's a great date movie.
Silver Linings Playbook. I just think it was a really good movie. The story's really good. The directing's really good. The acting's really good.
This year, why not enjoy The Story of Three Loves from 1953? This classic romance features great performances by a star-studded cast, including Kirk Douglas as a troubled trapeze artist, Leslie Caron playing a young governess, and James Mason as an impresario. Presented in classically crisp Technicolor, the plot follows three romances, each one full of courage, heartbreak,
I'll give it all up. We could have been the greatest team in all the world.
And a little bit of magic. Making The Story of Three Loves a quintessential Valentine's favorite.
The poetry we love and our situation is the same. Neither one is free. I have to leave Rome in the morning.
I have the most amazing impulse.
For Spoke TV, I'm Rebecca Turner.
And that's all for this week. I'm Brendan Zwombag.
And I'm Heather Mighton. For more stories and information, check out spoketv.ca.